What's going on, Dystopians? And welcome to episode 5 of the Disctopian podcast. I'm joined today by the best news, in my opinion, in the disc golf world. The disc golf world. What's up, fellas?
What's going on?
Thanks for having us.
Oh, dude, absolutely, man. Had to have you guys, man. After you guys were like my people at Worlds, man.
We did see you all over, man.
Everywhere. It was wild. It was wild. But man, just kind of trying to get some different perspectives from the world of disc golf, and you guys definitely do it different. I found you guys. I've been disc golfing for like 18 months. I found you guys. The Gannon Burr announcement was the first video I ever saw of your alls when he announced that he was going to Discmania, and
back one.
So that was like, I think that's like a year ago from when we're recording this, but yeah, it was like your 7th or 8th video, I think. So I've been on you guys for a while, and then when I saw you at Worlds, I was like, there's no way that's not them. So but dude, it was cool, man, and just experiencing that was my first tournament. Jumping right into the nitty-gritty, boys, how'd you get into disc golf? How did it start?
Man, so course randomly it just came up in our neighborhood, and I was fresh out of that like awkward time of like being in college, and you got like 4 days to do whatever the hell you want, and we decided to give disc golf a run, man. And so we went in there blind, knew no rules, didn't look up anything, just drove to the course, picked up some discs at the gas station, and got hooked for the summer. And played, got my brother into it, and from there it's been on.
And then for me, he's obviously my uncle, so there's a 20-year difference here. I think it was just one random day. It was my brother and then him and my other uncle. We were driving around thinking, what should we do? Disc golf got brought up. We just went and played, and then from there I just stopped.
You always got to work in that like 20-year.
I'm just giving people the perspective.
Well, and it's funny because, like, you know, I didn't know you guys were uncle and nephew. Like, I thought y'all were just homies. And then, like, when it came, I was like, yo, that's really cool. Their family keeping it together. That's pretty sick, man. That's pretty sick. And it's cool that that's how you guys got started too. Was through the family element of it. So that's awesome. That's awesome. Speaking of the two of you, how did this happen? Like, when?
Well, I guess to start, I've been making disc golf content on YouTube since 2017. So that was just, for some reason, I've always been just loving making videos. So I started the whole thing back in the day, JK Disc Golf. Then eventually the uncles were on that channel periodically. And then we did that for a couple years. I went to college, and it was a way to still connect with the uncles and disc golf and still communicate, because back then no one's talking disc golf. I had no friends that played disc golf, so sure. My only outlet, because that was my passion ever since I started playing. So my way to continue talking to them, we started this really podcast back in the day, and then that was the introduction of the Swiss cheese brand, if you will.
Hey man, I had to fight, like, I fought tooth and nail from, like, I didn't want to be in videos. I'm not that type of guy. Like, even when we started that podcast, it was only audio, and then like had to be convinced to do video.
Yeah. I look like Forsty.
Yeah, and so like it was just, you know, I'm just like a private individual, as funny as that may sound to some of you, but like I kicked and screamed, but the kid kept dragging me in, and then one day I just came up with a concept, and I was like, hey, I want to do this week in disc golf. I want it all overlay. Like, we kind of like got to the point of doing shorts, doing overlays, scripting,
right,
instead of the podcast form, and kind of just hit like from the jump. It was kind of weird. Like, here you're going from like minimal like 300-400 views, and like, man, I understand the grind, and then like one video and it pops off for 20K, and you're just like, what happened?
Yeah.
And that you just, from there you just tweak, adjust, always improve, and just keep going, man.
Well, way to set it up, Swiss, because the next question is, you know, talk about that growth and that grind of coming from just being two dudes, and we'll just kind of encompass the next question as well. I just have the minivan ... So just I need to hear some stuff.
Well, I mean, like from there, like Swiss said, we started doing just our face stuff, and then I went to that overlay video, and like overnight we got like 20,000 views. So from there, it was like, cool, this is what we do.
Yeah.
So then it was just finding our, how we did things and our routine, and it started with one video a week that we never stopped. Like from that first day, we've always had a This Week in Disc Golf on Friday.
Yeah.
And then it was, this is how we do thumbnails. Then it got very routine on that, and then it's figuring out how to evolve from there. But the minivans came from 3 months later, right? We were doing this I was at college, and then I graduated, and then it was time the tour was around us, like 4 hours, 3-hour events. We were going to these events, and then.
Yeah, it was always kind of a plan for as a semi-graduation gift and bucket list where they're just like, hey man, you're graduated, you got the time, I can make the time, let's go hit on it, let's just jump on the tour.
Yeah.
It wasn't, and this was before the content was really kind of rolling, and so this has been a plan.
I always make the joke, and it's always a joke to other people, but I was dead serious since I was 16 years old. I always said, I'm gonna have Swiss quit his job, and we're gonna go live on the pro tour doing this.
And so for there is we're gonna just rough it for 3 months, and it was a minivan situation, air mattress, kids sleeping in the passenger seat, and it's tight confines, but we make it work. There's highs and lows. There's nothing worse than living in a minivan and it raining all day. Just having that rain day where it's all right, what are we doing? We did a video, let's go see a movie, I guess.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just buying time. But
or even just when it's hot outside and it's raining all night, you can't roll down the windows. So all of a sudden that inconvenience of I'm not gonna sleep tonight basically because it's gonna be 900 degrees inside the minivan.
Yeah.
Yeah, the minivan stories are plentiful, you know what I mean? So,
it's cool because it really is all of what we need. Two people need to live is in that minivan, and we had a storage unit on top, but other than that, we had it so just down to perfect of where things needed to be done, but at the same time needed to be flipped every day because there's not enough space where the morning stuff is shoved in the back, and then during the night it's sleeping back there, so it needs to be moved to the front. But it was a process that it was it was
clockwork after. It's amazing how used to things you kind of get to.
Okay.
And those pleasantries that were you're comfortable with. Yeah, don't get me wrong, sometimes you regret them or you miss them, but for the most part you just find a comfort zone. And it's different. I met the experiences that we met, the people that we met is just wild. Just from doing laundry in Boston, and it's just it's weird occurrences that you kind of run into. But yeah, it's cool, but it's tough. Yeah, you're not talking any meal that we're cooking in there is usually ramen, and we're doing prison style where we're just pouring the water in the bag and letting it soak to a nice al dente but chewy texture, and it's just or your gas station pizza in it and stuff like that. So meals is kind of what I miss, and the actual bed from home is about it.
Sure. Right on.
Good life though.
Yeah.
I miss it.
Right on. I'm spitballing right now. I've got the notes down. I know what I need to bring. A microwave is definitely on the list. A mini fridge is definitely on the list. So just trying to, cause I've car camped before. I've hiked on the AT before. So I can take my stove if I want to and cook like I'm on the, you know what I mean? So I'll have the means to do it. It's just a matter of sleeping in a car and doing it.
Yeah, man. There's it's hard. It's difficult to explain. There's been times where it's just easy, and then there's other nights where you don't know what you're gonna run into.
Also, at the end of the day, I always tell myself, if you're a true disc golfer, this is the aspiration.
Yeah.
So it's part of just fulfilling that, being I did that. You'll always be able to look back and be like, you know what, that might have sucked, but it was fun.
Oh man,
absolutely.
Let's come up to us, and that's what they say. You guys did it like we did it, and it's kind of funny.
Like a badge of honor.
Yeah,
absolutely, bro, absolutely. Yeah, and it is a badge of honor to go, because I mean, and it'll be easy for me. I say it's gonna be hard, but I'm just going on the weekends, you know what I mean? It's gonna be a 5-day trip, and then I'm going home. I'm not going out for 6 months, dog. So
no. True.
Yeah.
Much respect to the minivan, but moving into some kind of some favorites. Do you guys have a favorite stop from 2024?
For me, it's gonna be USDGC always. It's just such like a party event where it's just that's disc golf in my head, and everyone's there knowing what it is, knows the prestige upon it. So it just means nothing will be better than USDGC.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, because he took that one. I'll just go the other simple route, Maple Hill.
yeah.
Like the party atmosphere there, especially getting VIP, 8 holes, like everything about it's just kind of neat. And there's like the only bad thing is parking. Like that's the only thing that you can on Maple Hill is parking.
Okay.
And like apart from that, six stop, the party atmosphere, like he said, the crowd, the crowd engagement's another level at that stop. And that's
Okay.
what same with USDGC. Like there's a buzz and like it's molded by the TDs and the teams and like the prestige of the stop, and those two kind of probably have the highest.
Oh, for
in my
sure.
opinion.
Especially like what Steve Dodge does up there, and I mean that's what I got VIP this year, man. Like I got my bronze pass. That was one of the ones I picked, and I'm gonna be there, like, because I mean, dude, watching it gave me goosebumps last year, and it's like seeing that ending and watching him hit through the tree, like it was just everything. And to be like, dude, I could be standing on 18 this year for that is like, here we go, man.
And a sleeper stop though, Preserve is also like, man, the vibes are cool. The community is like, just feel comfortable there. Everybody's kind of chill. There's plenty of like large sitting areas with everybody. So like if something electric happens, it's cool. Yeah, Preserve is kind of underrated, and there's great disc golf everywhere. So
Okay.
if you want to get like, disc golf rounds in, so like that's a slept on great stop in my opinion.
Okay, right on. I'll definitely have to put that one on the consideration list. I know I've got Music City and MVP are definites because they're my VIPs. In Music City, I'm playing a tournament during that as well while I'm down there. That's in Knoxville. I grew up in Kentucky, so I'm super familiar with the area, and I love Nashville and Knoxville both, and Gatlinburg and all that whole area. I mean, that's where we vacationed. It was 2 hours away. You know what I mean? So I'm excited. I mean, dude, I went to my honeymoon at Grand Ole Opry or the Opryland Hotel. So it's gonna be cool for me going down there by myself. And last year at Worlds, that was my first vacation with no kids and no wife, not for a job or a funeral. So like that was huge for me. And like now that my wife, she knows what disc golf means to me and like what I've been able to do. Like what this is going to go up on the 15th. I can say this. I'm going to be doing the putting game in my local area.
Nice.
I'm going to be doing a 5-episode series. We're going to be doing it at 2 breweries. There's a couple locations I haven't nailed down yet, but the finale, there's a local minor league baseball team, the Hagerstown Flying Boxcars. They're a brand new team. They just built their stadium last year, and they're going to let us use it for the finale. So it's going to be absolutely insane. So awesome. I'm really looking forward to that, and just, dude, I've got some sponsorships going on. So 2025 is going to be dope for me on my tour and the PDGA tour, man.
Yeah, man, that's awesome, bro. That's awesome.
So I guess that's my plans for 2025. You guys know anything of what you got going on? Are we seeing Minivan 2.0?
But man, unlike you, we're really trying to get to Europe.
Yeah.
And in order to do that, we kind of have to cut back on some of the touring. Like, we haven't taken a dime out of this project. It's always gone back into the content.
Yeah.
And we can get some content overseas. I think that's going to be awesome. That, and like, we've gone to so many world championships now. I'd hate to lose that record or like that streak, so to speak, on like something like this historic.
Well, I think we've also set now a precedent that we want to do for majors and specifically world championships with doing daily round recaps on the ground, getting as much interview stuff or whatever access we can to make these events feel any more prestigious.
Right.
So we need to make sure we're at least at Worlds this year.
Yeah.
For sure. That's, dude, it's like, I know I can't do it. You know what I mean? Like, I got 2 kids and a wife and a job and whatever, but like, I think that's might be my 10-year goal is like, I want to go to Europe at some point and do that swing. So my buddy actually plays in Mod's son. He's a guitarist, but he's really good buddies with Casey White. He went over there with him last year, well, this year, whatever. And he was Casey White's caddy, and like he stayed after they left, and he went to like Spain and Amsterdam, and dude, his Instagram story was like a movie, dog. It was wild. So I mean,
like
I could only imagine what Europe brings, man.
if we could hit every major, like he said, and you know what I mean, Ledgestone's our local, Preserve we're tight with MCO. We got like great peeps at MCO. So like splashing around in some of those and then like just hitting those core 4 would be like dream scenario for me.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
like that would be like cool. We the content was pushing this to do us this all this.
and we did.
Especially that, yeah, especially that West Coast one, because man, you don't want to hit that drive. That's like a fly in.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I'll stick to the East Coast. I'm all
Yeah.
good, man. I ain't got those airline miles yet, but
Yeah.
well, back to the favorites. Do we have a favorite disc golf moment between the 2 of you, either one of you? I know there's a couple niche ones out there, but mine is Matty O's winning MVP. It was the first thing I ever watched on DG or on like the Disc Golf Network, and it was a great first to watch, I will say.
oh man, like if you're talking like
Ever.
yeah, man, if we were watching James Conrad's World Championship live with the whole family in the living room, and
That's
just like
sick.
blew up, and like so that was a cool moment, like a personal moment, like being there on the course and like witnessing something, or like a single moment, and like one of my coolest like just like content thing that I made was like Marweed's ace on 8 was
Okay.
like a like cut. Like those are just like having that video to just be like, yeah, man, that like I did that there, like so like that would be cool. But like, man, we 2019 Worlds,
Honestly, that's
Paul Macbeth, like
that was it. Being at 2019, being a Paul Macbeth fanboy to the max. At that point, we were like, I could have reached out and like touched Paul. We were not should have been this close at all.
No, we
were
pushed it.
pushing the boundaries. I think I was the first person Ricky high fived after losing. I was like, that moment just solidified to me. It's like this is what I want to do with my life. So
Yeah.
that's always what I look back. I'm like, this is why I do it.
yeah, you'd be shocked at like what you could get away with at that time too.
Mhm.
Like, man, it's nothing like it is now, but like we were right there, man, every day. Like you said, like that one was pretty cool.
I'll say even that whole 2019. It's funny because we went to that not knowing anything really about disc golf. It was like, well, we did, but super just wanting to experience it all. And we did what we do now. We recapped every round on the course, filmed the B-roll just because that's what we wanted to do. So I always, again, look back at that and it's like, cool, my 17 or 18-year-old self at the time wanted to do this. And now I look back like, no, we're doing that. We're doing the vision.
That's
It's
awesome.
Yeah. The
That's
funny thing is
awesome.
that's probably what also got me to buy into this thing too. Like just being because like that was our first time working together. You know what I mean? And I was still behind the screen. You know, I was filming, kind of coaching on what he should say. Like we weren't scripting, but like we definitely like role played it before we went over it, and like
I had
yeah,
to do like 20 takes in a park because I kept
Yeah.
messing up one
Yeah.
word, and there's like a cop laughing at us. 'cause-
absolutely, yeah. So like looking back, like it's probably that there was like, hey man, this is kind of cool. Like you know what I mean? This is kind of neat to do with my nephew, and it's you know it's something that wasn't there. And,
Yeah.
like so it's just neat to do it.
Yeah, right on. Well, I mean, before we wrap it up, do you guys have anything you want to promote?
First, I want to say this is the one thing I can appreciate you out of all the interviews that we have had. The number one question we get is like, how do the pros feel about your content? And like, and you didn't hit that, so I appreciate that. That was pretty awesome.
For sure, man.
Anything I want to promote? Man, the channel, the news is hitting. Things are getting interesting. It's only going to get more from what we're gathering. We got stuff in the works, but like We're doing our research, making sure we're right before we present it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's plenty enough to talk about. So just the channel on that front. See this kid at the Disc Golf Expo.
Mm-hmm. I'll be
Word.
there.
Word.
Of Disc Golf World merch, guys. You can buy it then. I know everyone talks about it, but it'll be there.
Word.
That's about it. That's all I got.
Cool.
Thanks for having us. It was
Dude.
awesome. And let us for having to tell our story. We don't really get to do that ever,
No,
so
yeah.
it was cool to look back.
Well, dude, you guys were part of my story. So whenever I started this, I was like, they're on the list for sure. Like I hit up Jeff like a minute ago and was like, hey, I think I'm gonna do this thing. Do you guys want to do it with me? Should I do it? And we were just kind of like, let's just. And then it was funny because like I recorded my first episode with Scott, and then like a week later saw y'all drop yours and was like, I bet we're doing it. Let's do it. I'm gonna hit him. We're gonna get together on this. So, but.
Sick, man.
Well, just again, thank you guys for coming on and sharing your story and talking a little bit just about what it takes to be on this side of the disc golf world. But man, I appreciate you guys so much. I'm sure we'll see you out there. We'll get together and throw some plastic, man, for sure.
Absolutely, man. We're homies, bro. You know that. You talk to us at a stop. We're homies.
Oh yeah, for sure. Locked in for life, bro. Disc golf can do that to you, man. It's a community, bro.
Absolutely.
Disctopians, thank you guys so much for stopping by. Make sure you leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and come back every Wednesday. We have a long form content, whether it be the podcast every other week or me out making a fool of myself in the woods of Pennsylvania. So stay tuned for some more, and Disc Golf World, we'll see you guys next year. Appreciate y'all, and Disctopians, be good. Peace.
Peace.